in mind, it's not an unlimited time.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. 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 We got it. All right.
Nice to see you, ladies.
It is
Yeah,
you all. All
And
right.
thank you for all your help on the chat.
Oh my gosh, yes. If I know what I'm talking about. I feel like I do, but okay. Here's my assessment analysis. Like I said, my student is she's a first grader, but she just started. She probably shouldn't be in first grade because she's very, very low. Her mom was offered a spot in our transitional kindergarten when she started last year, which is just another year to get them ready. Those who are like a little lacking maturity wise, and just may not be ready, they can choose that program, and it's like 2 years of kindergarten. Well, her mom was not on board with that, so they put her in regular kindergarten. She struggled throughout the year. She was pulled for interventions, but her attendance was horrible. So this year, she's in first grade, and then she's on our list, which you called soft interventions. And that's after, once we look at all the data from when we screen all the kids, then we decide who's going to be working where at what level. So for right now, she's just in like the soft intervention. So I'm pulling all of the kids who we knew were going to need interventions, but we're just kind of reviewing everything at this point. I'm sure I'll be working with her more throughout the day, just for our school interventions as well. But I picked her because I knew that she's like way far behind. So I'm using UFly. And then this is, of course, all the assessment data that I received from her, uh, below average and poor, pretty much across the board. She didn't have any problem like saying her numbers or saying her letters when we were doing the RAN, but she had trouble with the objects. So I think there might be a little bit of some memory issues going on. But I also know a lot of background information isn't great. She doesn't have a lot of background knowledge. She comes from a very, very low socioeconomic family. But she's sweet as can be. So anyway, this is what we're looking at right here. I gave her the Dibbles. Um, for first grade, and she did so poorly, I went ahead and administered the kindergarten one. And let's see. There's my C top, so we can see she's below and everything. I think I shared the Dibbles. Here it is. Here's the kindergarten and first grade analysis, how it's different. So you could see she would need intensive support across the board for first grade. So then when I do kindergarten, at least I can see that she has some letter naming and she can segment some of those phonemes. Okay. So we're looking at the reading fluency. When I was, let's see, doing the fluency assessment, she wasn't able to blend any of the words, but she could tell me individual sounds. So I think that's where we're going to focus our attention is going to go ahead, review everything. I'm starting with lesson one with you, Fly. And I've already started that. We had our third session yesterday. And we're not even into the part where we can do decodables yet. So, and that's okay. We're gonna get there. And I'm just kind of supplementing with other things that will give her like multisensory practice and all that as well. Her goals, I really want her to be able to read accurately, just some short sentences. So we're going to start very small, with segmenting. Once I can get her to be able to blend, her CVC words, then we can start looking at being able to decode and blend, real and nonsense words. Just going to do one syllable, closed syllable words. I don't even know if we'll end up getting to blends. But what I'd really like is just to do her be able to read just a 3 to 4 word sentence, possibly write it by the end of here. I started doing some trick words. That's what we call them here, the sight words or whatever to build that vocabulary. And I'm working on the word the and the word I right now. So it's slow going. But I think with repeated exposure, she will be able to at least catch up to closer where she should be, with her peers. Maybe those at the kindergarten level. I'm not quite sure how far we'll get this year. So, I've got a lot of work to do with her. Okay. So I've got two computers, so I was clicking the wrong mouse. Okay. And I'm going to use Dibbles to progress monitor her. There's a U-Fly plan, but it's not available yet. It said it's coming September, but it's not here yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do every fifth session with her. So that way on after the 25th session, I'll be able to do the last assessment and hopefully we'll make those goals. So she's real sweet. She wants to do well. So, I mean, that's a plus.
And you want her to do well, so it's a great combo.
It is, it is. And she's just a
Mhm.
delight. So, it's nice when you really love the kids. It makes it more enjoyable. So, and she sees me in the hall. She's like, "Are we working together today?" And I was like, "Okay, keep that excitement. That's nice." All
That
right.
is sweet.
All right. I'm
Great.
going to stop sharing my screen. Um, okay. I think that's good. Who would like to share now?
I can go. I
Okay.
can do it the right way this time. Okay, so my student is an 8-year-old male. He just completed first grade last year, and he did move on to second grade. Based on screeners and assessments last year, he was highly flagged for dyslexia, but he has not been pulled by the instructional facilitator at our school to have those level two screeners just yet. He was pulled an extra 30 minutes every day last year and every day this year too for extra intervention from our interventionist at school. And I don't know if y'all have heard of the Arkansas Tutoring Corporation, but they did a grant last year and he qualified for that. So he did get extra tutoring after school for 12 weeks last year. And I will go ahead
I see
and
Arkansas is very dyslexia mindful and friendly.
yes, we try to be.
Yeah,
New
that's
York
nice.
City, not so much.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
That's so cool that you're in New York City, though. I love New York City.
Your school system's different out there, isn't it though? Like my girlfriend's kids are out there and she said that, they all have to try to get into the school, even though they're public schools, there's like competition. I don't even understand that.
Maybe by some more um like honor school, but otherwise you go to your zone school, the
Mm,
school that's in your neighborhood. You're
That's what I would think, right?
yeah, that is
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay, well, all right, we'll revisit
That's
that anyway.
okay. Let me see. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Part of it.
Part of it. Okay. What about now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All of it? Okay, cool. Okay, so I started out with the C-top. He scored pretty poorly in most of the areas. He scored average in the phonological awareness. In the tower, across the board, all poor. Very below grade level, um, below age that he should be for. I did the TWS for the spelling. Scored poorly on that too. Very below age, below grade level. All of there was one part on the Dibbles where he did score in the core support and the word reading fluency, but the rest of them he's going to need either intensive or strategic support on the maze too. He did very poorly on the maze. That was just supposed to top analysis. I think he probably did the best on the C-top when you really break it down. There were some averages, and then at the end he scored really good on those blending and segmenting non-words, which really shocked me. I hope I did that right because with the score, it seems like there was just a fluke. But I'm really proud of him for scoring that well at the end. Um, Down here, I have so yeah, he scored in the 40th percentile, and I just put the core scores that he should have by the beginning, middle, end of the year. He's pretty much below on all of them. So we've got a long way to go. But he's actually my cousin. So like I've been following his academic journey for a while, and so he's he's happy to work with me because he knows me. and I try to make it fun for him. In our sessions, I try to have at least one hands-on activity that's kind of like a not a brain break, but like a sentence match, or I like to write words on a Jenga game and we play Jenga and try to read words and have a good time. Some goals that I have for him are just to increase his phonics knowledge because I can tell that it's starting to be there because he's exposed to it all the time, but he still just needs that extra push, especially not gaining mastery in first grade. That's such a big grade where you learn a lot, and he just needs more opportunity to gain that knowledge and the word recognition. Um, Definitely want to improve the reading fluency closer to his grade level. Right now, it's a struggle to read a sentence, just like Holly said with hers. It's like pulling teeth to get that sentence read out correctly and quickly. And since the fluency is not there, the comprehension isn't there. And in second grade, I mean, that's huge. So I really want to try to lean into that more with asking just the simple questions like main idea, setting, characters, stuff that you should know just from not even reading with great fluency. Um, we're meeting twice a week for 12 weeks, and I'm going to progress monitor every 4 weeks. So that puts me at that last week 12. It'll be like a summative, and he'll be ready, hopefully by then to have a better score. So, and I'm going to pull from the phonics first. Passages and short stories to see what skills he's retaining, what maybe we need to go back and look at again, and so on. So,
I have a question for you.
yeah,
For your progress monitoring program, you said you're using the phonics first, and that's what you use in your district, right?
yes.
Okay, that's kind of nice. I'm using Dibbles, and I just for the Dibbles one, it's like the progress monitoring forms are non-word fluency, correct word fluency, and then the phonemic segmentation.
Hmm.
Are you, what are your like different domains that you're progress monitoring assessing?
So I'm probably going to pick just one of a passage that kind of incorporates the skills that we've gone over that far. And which I may pull other assessments too, not just a passage. But that's a good question.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering because I don't know if like
Yeah.
because I know like our screening and
Yeah.
our program has to be like all evidence based, but I'm having a hard time finding like does the progress monitoring like does it specifically have to be
Yeah.
dibble? Does this, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't see anywhere where it had to be dibbles. I mean, basically, I don't know. I was just gonna pull a passage that has the skills we were working on. I mean, mark those skills that if he got them, if he segments them, if he automatically recognized them, then I can do a comprehension with that too. I can get a fluency score, comprehension score, look at those words with the targeted skills. So I can cover a lot of ground with just one passage instead of pulling like a whole Dibbles packet again and going through that whole process again.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I have to do the
Yeah,
Dibbles,
well, because but
yeah,
she's not reading like any words correctly, so I'm like, I can't really give a maze. I can't give an orf because like I'm just looking
right.
at single words. So I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of compare what we're all doing to see, like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm doing
I mean, I don't know if we can make our own assessments, but I mean, sometimes we do that in our district. We'll just make like a 10-word list with the skill that we've been learning and we just score that. I don't know if we can do that in here or not, but that seems like it would be easier for her than to just pull things out of
You
different
mean whether
resources.
she wants something standardized like the Dibbles is versus something that we just make ourselves.
yeah.
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 I hear that.
Um,
You stopped sharing your screen, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I had wanted to check out your scores for a minute to see.
Oh, well, I can share again. Would you like me to share again?
No, it's okay.
I mean,
I mean, it's up to you. I don't want to trouble you.
Sure. What scores did you?
I was curious to see the differences between the different scores
Okay,
because,
let me go back. I'll go back to the top. Okay.
okay, so phonological awareness was average.
Mm-hmm.
And what that tells us is that he has awareness of the letters and sounds. Is that the case? He
Yeah,
knows
he
all the
does.
phonemes
I
and
know.
graphemes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's gotten so much better. I kind of followed along last year how he was doing, and he came to first grade knowing like 6 letters, and by the end of it, he knew all the letters and the sounds. So that has held on, thankfully.
Hmm.
So
Um, the rapid naming composite, he did very poor, which tells us that he's having difficulty accessing that information and retrieving it at a pace that he would need to for reading.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Sight word efficiency,
yeah. I mean,
coding
I didn't
efficiency.
expect the sight word to be great. If I'm going too fast or too slow, just let me know.
No.
I know, I'm
Um,
taking notes.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
okay.
Nonsense or fluency. Okay.
Oh, we have 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, oh, I just saw that too. Okay.
I'm not
All
gonna,
right.
All right.
Okay, so I just wanted to see what he did well in.
Yeah,
I'm surprised in word reading fluency that he's
I
only
was too.
four seven.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just, I don't know,
Okay.
maybe because they were single words.
So I did want you to be mindful that when you're going to give your follow-up assessment, it
Hmm.
is different when you have a larger context. It's a little more cognitive overload.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
different than just isolated words.
Hmm.
And also real words are different than nonsense words.
Yes.
Nonsense words also are more cognitive overload than real words. So just
Hmm.
be mindful of that. That would just be my
Yeah.
own,
Yeah. Thank you.
no problem. Okay, so I guess
Okay.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah. Okay, I stopped. So you
Sure.
should be good to go.
So, huh. Oh, you shared your whole screen or an application on the window?
well, it was like desktop is what I did.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did
let's see.
that.
Okay, so my student is entering the third grade and he's actually just turning 8. So I was surprised that your student is going to second grade, but maybe things work differently there. Um, he struggles with OT and I guess some speech. He has an IEP. He has not been diagnosed with dyslexia. I don't even think that his school speaks to the parent about delays, but they're also using Fontes and
No,
Fa- the what is that called again?
Santa Simple.
Um, yes, and it doesn't I mean research shows that
Yeah, no.
it's not so okay. So I'm not sure that they're actually um noticing that there are some reading issues, but mom was concerned.
Okay, good.
And there is both parents are college educated. Dad is a doctor, but he does recall that he did struggle academically in school, but he was never formally assessed or diagnosed with anything. All right, so I assessed him, and you can see that he has some pretty nice scores with the phonological awareness composite, which tells me that he knows the sounds and the letters. So the awareness of phonemes and being able to manipulate them, insert sounds, take away sounds, he can do that.
Yeah.
The phonological memory was average overall. But when I look at the two subtests, he scored below average on nonsense word repetition. And that could be the root of his problem. Because if his phonological memory is poor, then that would impact his ability to hold a sequence of sounds correctly. And when he's reading, what we're seeing is that it's choppy, it's slow for many of the words. He inserts sounds, he takes away sounds, he replaces sounds, and that could very well happen when you have a phonological memory issue because he's having trouble holding that sequence of sounds. And it also becomes a lot of cognitive overload for him. So it's also possible that sometimes, as a compensatory strategy, he sees the two first letters of the word and then he just will guess the rest. For instance, the word also he might say as always or always as also. So
Mhm.
he'll start off correctly and then it's incorrect. His rapid symbolic naming is average. So the processing speed to access the sound to symbol seems like it's okay. Sight word efficiency is poor, which makes sense with a poor area of weakness in phonological memory because he can't develop sight word efficiency if he's not storing words correctly, because then he has no good orthographic mapping of patterns or rules stored in his long-term memory. So because his short-term working memory is not great, which is the phonological memory, that's impacting his sight word efficiency. And his total word efficiency is obviously poor. What was surprising was that his spelling, Mom complained about his spelling, but a test brought out that he's average. So I don't know what I'll see moving forward. Although it's a little unusual, it is possible because spelling utilizes long-term memory retrieval of orthographic patterns. And as I said before, we see that his short-term working memory, the phonological memory, seems to be the core issue. So it seems like his long-term memory is more intact. So when he has to use that for certain skills, it seems like it's working for him. So the orthographic memory seems good for spelling, but it's deficient when it comes to decoding because of what we just said.
Mhm.
And so it makes sense that his Dibble scores were pretty low for accuracy and for fluency, because if you don't have accuracy, you're not going to have fluency. His maze was surprisingly average, so that tells me that he is using some compensatory strategies and getting the gist of whatever information he's getting to choose the right answer, either by chance or by choice on purpose. So that might be compensatory. I also use the UFly Foundation Intervention Placement Test, and we had to stop it really at the beginning with short vowels. And it wasn't because he didn't know the short vowels. If you ask him what sound does that make, he can tell you. But the problem comes in with him changing sounds in the word or inserting sounds. And because he got 3 incorrect in one line, that's when you stop the assessment. So the UFly tells me where to start intervention. I don't remember offhand the lesson number that it was, but that's where we're going to be starting. And obviously, my goal is to increase his phonological memory so that he can perform these tasks better. So we are going to work on reading short words accurately, not using the compensatory strategies that he's been using, and building on his phonological memory. So that's where we're at.
What are you going to be using for progress monitoring?
Oh yes, thank you. Dibbles.
Okay.
As of now, unless something changes, but
For second grade?
he's 3rd grade. Yeah.
Third grade, okay. So I'm just looking at the Dibbles progress monitoring thing, so yeah, I
Since
think that the
yeah,
Dibbles
since I
are
assessed him using Dibbles, for me right now it makes sense. There's also something else that I want to try to insert into the lessons. I just don't know how I'm going to do it, and I'm a bit of a novice, but have you heard of structured word inquiry?
no.
It's where the word gets analyzed. There are like 4 questions to ask because the spelling of words is not random in English.
Right.
It's based on the root.
Yeah.
So the word
I do
the,
kind of do that, yeah, I do that sometimes with my whole class. We just kind
yeah,
of take apart a word and like, what skill do you see in that word that we have learned? And we circle it and we say, oh, that's a digraph or that's a blend. And sometimes the words have multiple skills, and it does help them recognize, oh, yeah, that's right there. We just learned
Do
that.
that too. We call that marking up our words and sentences.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. That's not structured word inquiry, but that does sound nice. Structured word inquiry has 4 things that it focuses on. One of them being where does this word come from, and that's how we analyze the spelling. A lot of the English is it's from Greek, it's French, it's, you know, like a lot of the science words are from
Greek.
Greek. A lot of the, I don't know, pastry words are probably from French, like croissant. So a lot of the spelling is inherited from the root of the word.
Or
It
go,
also
I'll cut you
analyzes,
off, but you have 1 minute left. You have less than a
okay.
minute left.
Anyway, we're finished sharing. It's okay if you want to stop the recording. But in terms of our assessments, I'm just adding that I would like to somehow incorporate structured word inquiry.
Yeah.
It should help. It's been successful with a lot of dyslexic students from people that I know on Facebook groups who use structured word inquiry only.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
But there's no scope and sequence, so I'm not comfortable yet doing that. I'm just a novice, so I'm not there yet. But I would definitely like to use that in some form or fashion in my lessons. We'll
Yeah.
see how I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice to trickle in, even if it's not your, primary focus.
Yes, I would like to.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right. I guess well, I'll be talking to you both anyway through text and everything else. But